So today we're going to be making some tipper sounding bass lines. So how to make Formant bass lines a la tipper. Um, so I'm doing this with the Virus, but you can do this with a few different other synthesizers. I may do another tutorial on some popular software synthesizers where you can recreate this technique as well, such as Zeta, Zebra, or Massive. Um, Basically, the main uh, crunk of the sound, the main crutch of the sound, the beef, the thing that gets it what it is, gives it what it is two filters set in parallel. We're going to be going through the theory about how to set this up. So the first part of this will be focused on the filter, getting the filter right, and then we'll move on to the oscillator section. So first of all, what we're going to do is go to the filter section and then select parallel, take it off, cut off link and filter link, put them both on bandpass, chuck a healthy amount of resonance on the filter, and put some envelope modulation on it. But on one of the envelopes we're going to select negative. So what that means is it's going through the filter backwards. And this is one of the ways that we can get this formant sound by having two different movements being applied to the bandpass filter. And first of all, what I'm going to do is just preview the sound, see, put it down an octave. So we're already getting kind of a psychedelic kind of formanty sort of sound. Ooh. So that's basically the theory on the filters, and you can play about. What's really fun is just flexing the filters and recording in this automation and just chopping out and selecting your best bits, where you find the two filters cross over and create these different vowel sounds for you. So we're going to fatten this sound up a little bit, and we're going to change the oscillators. So first of all, we're going to sync them, we're going to put a bit of FM, and we're going to change the wavetable. So mess about with the wavetables, see what they sound like. Your classic kind of sawtooth sounds quite nice. Just put through a Formant filter and you get some really great sounds out of that. But one of the other ways that I found out that's pretty nice to get more diversity into your sound and give it a little bit more of a rich quality is to play about with the wavetables themselves. So in the Virus, if you turn the oscillator all the way over to the left, and then you get this menu here where you've got like 64 different waves, and just play about, because these are quite complex complex waveforms with a lot of harmonics, and they sound great when filtered. So that's the main thing. Try and select something with enough harmonics so when you filter it, you've got some distinct character that comes out of it. Put ring modulation up. That's a way to give it a bit more fatness and intensity. You can play about with the sub oscillator, but some synths don't have sub oscillators, so I'm just going to leave that out for now. And we're going to change the pitch of one of the oscillators down an octave as well. We're going to put the portamento up a little bit and change it to monophonic. So when we play two notes, it will glide from one note to another. And the next part we're going to do is so we don't have to manually mess about with the filters ourselves. I don't like that amount of resonance on it right now. So the more resonance you have, the more of a kind of whistly sound you're going to get, a more windy kind of whistly sound. So we're going to take that down and more kind of squelchy resonant sound. Right, I'm going to actually do what I just did instead of just playing about. So this is the problem with these sounds is that you can endlessly get lost just manipulating these filters to your heart's content, which is great, but I advise record it if you are going to do that and spend hours on these sounds, because most likely is you'll make the sound that you want after about 5 minutes, and then after about 10 hours you're going to be like, where did that sound go that was cool at the start? So I suggest recording it, take the kind of modular synth approach and just leave a track on and just record all the sounds and then go through it at the end and then go, oh, there's some really great bits in there. So what we're going to do is attach filters, filter modulation, the LFO onto these two filters here. By default, the LFO2 has got some modulation sections, modulation sources for the filter 1 and filter 2, so we don't have to go into the matrix and set it ourselves, blah blah blah. But if you do want to do that, you can get some quite interesting sounds by modulating a whole bunch of different things at the same time, but I'm not going to do that right now. So we're going to take the same sort of theory by putting negative amount and a positive amount to the modulation section. So we're going to bring one down and one up. And play about with the portamento. Quite a nice sound. See, in some of these waveforms have got these lovely harmonics that just sound great when filtered. Play about with the different types of FM as well. So wave sounds pretty good. Can sound pretty good on certain combinations of sounds. But I do like this positive triangle one. I think it's just got a really rich sound to it. Whoa, lovely. And yeah, play about with the filter envelopes to taste. Yeah, and what's also good fun to play about with to experiment with this sound is by changing the by attaching an LFO to the pitch of the oscillator. And we get some pretty interesting sounds out of that, and we can do the similar sort of thing, so send one up and send one down. And we get these kind of laughing sounds that kind of remind me of, I think it's Tiny Face by Tipper. But obviously it can be a bit extreme sometimes. And play about with the timing of the LFO as well. And also, if you've got a virus, check out the saturation section as well. Try it, because these are the saturation for the filter. And also try a bit of distortion afterwards as well in the settings. Yeah, we could bump up the character here and turn on a little bit of distortion here, just to give it a little bit more fatness. yeah, we're getting some nice grainy sounds out of that. Nice Formant-y grainy sounds. So that's basically the theory about how to make the tipper Formant-y sounding bass lines. I hope that's helpful. Cheers. Can't wait to hear what you guys create.